Okay, so after watching the so-called movie Suicide Squad, I got thinking about something that's been going on for a while now. It seems like the kind of popular thing to do right now is to shit all over DC movies because really they're like 0 for 3. Or like, even more than that. Because you could say Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Suicide Squad are like all busts and like 5s and below, but I mean it goes back further than that when you really think about it. So instead of simply just shitting all over a movie, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to try and figure out suggestions to help make DC better. We're going to try and fix the DC movies today. Because nobody wants to leave a movie theater and be like pissed off. We all want to be happy. We want to have a good time when we're there. So we're going to try and figure out solutions to the problems. But we first have to identify kind of what the problems are. So after watching a bunch of DC movies the other night, I think I came up with where the train started to come off the tracks, and what some of the problems are and potential solutions are. So my first kind of problem and solution is DC needs way better character designs. Needs phenomenally better character designs. And this stems back to where I think the DC movies started like going on this fucking path that put them where they are now. And that movie is Green Lantern. This movie, first of all, I don't even know where this movie was supposed to like go. Was it supposed to be the precursor to Justice League, or was it a standalone thing? I don't know what the fucking point of this movie was. It was just like, hey, we're doing Green Lantern and there you go. But this movie, to me, it first of all pissed me off because I saw it opening night and it let me down. But this movie has some of the worst character designs I've ever seen. First of all, Hal Jordan looks like shit. Like, literally, like, green shit was on his chest and it just oozed out. And it's weird because when you make a movie, you have a set team of designers and artists and everything like that that come together. And this is the design that they landed on. It just fucking baffles me. Not to mention the god-awful villain being Parallax, who literally looks like a head floating in turds. It's just, did anybody read a fucking comic book? Like, Parallax has never had this design. I don't know how they got from, like, the dragon-y kind of design that he is to floaty poop head McGee in the toilet. I don't understand it. And now, like, all that being said, DC has been getting better. Like, come Batman vs. Superman, Batman looks awesome. Like, look at him, he looks fantastic, especially in the armor. But then you get Doomsday, and Doomsday looks like a Ninja Turtle mixed with an ogre from The Hobbit. So they, like, start doing a good thing, and then they fuck up other things. And it's just weird to me that they can't get it right more than 50% of the time. And that's a big problem, because when did mediocrity become the benchmark for DC? It's like they put stuff out there that they go, that's fine. Like, when did fine become the okay or the benchmark for what they're doing, especially how much money and a budget they have and how much the actors make and the directors make? It's just fucking crazy to me that in terms of character designs, we get this sort of shit, which leads me into my next biggest problem and hopefully solution is DC needs to comic book up their fucking movies hugely. And what I mean by this is, going back to Green Lantern at his core is intergalactic cop guy. He's a guy who patrols the particular section or sector, I guess, of, the galaxy. But when you have that kind of character and then you set him in Shitsville, USA, it just blows my fucking brain, because you have a guy who can go anywhere in the universe and create anything out of his ring, and you have him like in, I don't even know where, Chicago, I guess. I know it's like Star City or wherever. And he's just making like green fists and racetracks. Like, it's just, get more creative. Like, think outside the box. It's okay to make a comic book movie look like a fucking comic book movie. The writers and the directors and the actors all need to go out, read a comic, put some like comic roids in a fucking syringe and start juicing on comic book like steroids, because it desperately needs that shot in the arm. Like, and all this being said, when you look at movies like Sin City or The Spirit or even Deadpool and Dredd, these movies are really, really good adaptations of their counterparts because they're not afraid to fucking make it like a comic book, especially something like Sin City. Sin City, to me, is one of the most perfect comic book movies out there because it's not afraid of itself. It's doing its fucking job. And I've said it before, I want to see a Batman movie shot in the style of Sin City. I think that would look incredible. I don't know how well it would work with like Superman or Green Lantern or Wonder Woman, but just as a Batman movie, I want to see that. Like, give Frank Miller the reins on this and just let him go, because he would add such a unique style that is missing with DC. Like, their style is this weird realistic thing. And it's not working. You've done it really 3 times now, and it hasn't fucking worked, because even from a stylistic standpoint, a directing standpoint, there's like this weird like veil over the lens that like sucks the fucking color and energy out of the movies. When you compare it to like a Marvel movie that's very colorful and very fun and has some levity in it. Like, not every Batman and Green Lantern story are like, grr, we're gonna fucking be angry all the time. You can have some fucking jokes in your movie. And I'm glad that Suicide Squad started kind of figuring that part out, although some of the jokes were very flat. But at least they're trying. At least they are trying. And hopefully that's their attempt to move in a better direction. Which is kind of my next point. Where do you go from here? In my opinion, just let the fucking let the ship sink. Let it just fucking go. Because what you're doing isn't working. I don't think Wonder Woman's going to be very good based on the track record. Like, all 3 of the movies before it sucked, so why would this one suddenly be fucking amazing? And even looking at that trailer, again, you have Wonder Woman debut against Doomsday, and now you're giving her an origin story where she's fighting like dudes in World War II. You've taken the threat level back. Like, it's not intimidating. I want to see fucking Wonder Woman fight like Hades and big Hydra monsters and crazy shit. Like, put her in like Beowulf, or put her in Thor's world or something. Like, give me something interesting. Give me some fantasy. And don't say DC can't do fantasy now, because you just had fucking Enchantress in your goddamn fucking movie. So obviously you can, you just don't want to, because it doesn't fit your image and your tone that you're going for. That's not fucking working. And that brings me to my final point here, is this movie needs passion. Like all their movies, this company needs passion. Because you keep giving it to like Zack Snyder, who can make something like stylistically okay, but it has no fucking soul to it. Like, Watchmen looked fine, but had no fucking heart. Batman vs. Superman looked fine, but it lacked heart. It lacked passion. And so did Man of Steel. It just lacked something. Whereas you look at a movie like Deadpool, where everybody fought for this movie, and when they finally got it, they fucking nailed it. They knocked it out of the park. Or even Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a movie that like came out of nowhere, but everybody involved was very passionate and very enthused and excited about it, and you got a great fucking comic book movie. And again, with Guardians of the Galaxy in comparison to Green Lantern, Guardians spent, what, 3 minutes on Earth, and then gave you this huge cosmic universe to just enjoy. And that's why that movie's so good. Like, they did something different with it. Like, fuck Earth. Every fucking movie is Earth. Let's go to Xandar, and let's go to fucking nowhere, and all these cool locations, and give you something fresh and something new. And that's what DC needs to do. Like, you have these cosmic characters. Stop fucking setting everything in like Metropolis and Gotham. Like, especially with Wonder Woman now. Put it on a fucking cool island or something. Like, put some passion into it. again, that's kind of like a big problem, especially when you look at Superman Returns with Bryan Singer. In an interview, he's like, I don't really like Superman. Then why the fuck did you hire him to do a fucking Superman movie? That's like directing a musical and going, we're not going to have any fucking music in it. It's just weird to me that you would have a guy who admittedly doesn't like the product and you have him directing it. It's just weird, DC. It's just fucking weird. Like, stop giving these directors who don't give a shit anymore the reins to your product that are doing a subpar job. Ugh. So overall, I mean, those are my big three things that I noticed in all these movies, and hopefully DC starts figuring it out, because people aren't going to keep supporting your product. They're getting pissed off. Like, we spend our hard-earned money to support these movies, and then we get something that's a 4 out of 10, a 3 out of 10, a 5 out of 10, and that's just not fucking good enough. That's not something that moviegoers want or fans want. And that's the other thing. Listen to your fans. Listen to the feedback that you're getting. Don't just think, fuck it, we're a studio, we can do whatever we want. Listen to the feedback, because if people don't like it, if the majority of people don't like it, maybe you should fucking change it. What a weird concept. And the last thing that I want to kind of talk about is like the budget. You don't need a huge budget to make a good movie. Look at Dredd. Dredd's budget was like $14.63, and they made one of the most true and beautiful adaptations of a comic book character, and it was a fantastic movie, although it was very underappreciated at the time. But again, everybody was passionate about it, and you didn't need this huge, mind-blowing budget. You just had to have some heart and soul and passion in your movie, and that's what we got. So that's what we need from you, DC. We need passion, we need love, we need soul in your movies. All three of those things, if DC starts doing those, we're going to start having really great movies again. We're going to have, the first and second Superman movie. We're going to have, the 1989 Batman and Batman Returns. We're going to start having these really fun action movies and really true soul-filled comic book movies, because that's what we deserve and that's what we need. So DC, if you're out there, if you're watching, please listen to me, because I'm a fan. I love your stuff. I got comic books and shit all around me. Like, I am a fan. I'm trying to help you. And if you out there, if you the viewers have suggestions or solutions that you want to add, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I always read them. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for all the latest and greatest videos that we're doing. So that's my little, how to fix the DC Universe rant kind of thing. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all on the very next episode of Tender Gaming. We'll see you then.